Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hi, I'm Jason with Jason Pollock. I am not Jason. Join Jason and Justin back in the green room as they talk with some of their favorite folks from the entertainment industry. And now, the man you haven't been waiting for, Jason Pollock!
Hi, I'm Jason. That's the name of the show, and Justin cannot be here this evening, so I'm just gonna stop with seeing my big face on that screen alone. And we're gonna bring out my guest tonight, the very funny comedian Ophira Eisenberg.
Hey! Hi, Jason.
Hi, Ophira. We have a studio audience. Yes,
Bring it on. Bring it on.
they stop abruptly. They always stop abruptly.
Well, because they're so excited to get to the content, right?
Exactly. That's exactly it. So I gotta ask you. We'll start at the beginning. How are you?
I'm okay.
All right, good. All right, thank you for being here, Ophira.
Yeah, I don't think this January is anyone's favorite.
No, this January kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's all of a sudden, there's like we're losing people left and right. Every day, there's another freaking death.
There's that. Yeah. Obviously, I think I'm not saying anything that you haven't thought about, but just the emotional impact of a world that is, because we're not shut down, but a lot of people can't go to work. People are afraid to go out. A lot of people are sick. Like
You're still working though, right? I saw you have some shows coming up.
Yeah, I did not work the first 2.5 weeks of January. So I only started actually late last week because I was, well, first I was just like, why? Actually, can I tell you, there was an email from a club that I felt like made sense of my entire comedy career.
Oh, I got it.
And it was an email. This was sent like right around December, near club. Okay, so it was sent right around December like 23rd when things, or maybe it was the 26th, but basically everybody I know got COVID for Christmas.
Yep.
Because right before Christmas, they were either performing live or they were enjoying the holiday season in a way that we haven't in years by seeing a friend or going out. And that's when Omicron, as I say, Omicron, yeah, was raging. And so just everyone got sick for Christmas. And so this club sent out, I think mistakenly, but maybe not, a very tone deaf email that just said,
"Oh no,
hey comics, a lot of comics are sick. So if you could update your avails, we have a lot of open spots."
So sensitive. Oh my god.
It was like, because we just got to keep rolling. We just got to keep rolling till you're all.
Oh my
sick.
god. We're not going to close. We got to make the money. So
we don't even care who you are. I don't care if you're an A-level comic. I don't care if you're a B-level. See, we need a mouth behind a microphone that hasn't tested positive.
That's amazing. Oh, I wish I knew about this. I would have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, just all those years of feeling, I mean, on both sides, things like you just go, oh, my talent is so specific. I know when that club books me, it's because they need someone like me on this lineup. Or from the other hand, where you just go, I feel like they really devalue my talent. They don't see me for what I am. No. You are a mouth behind a microphone. They need you there because someone else wasn't able to be there because they were sick. But we're all just in the same pool, a mouth behind a microphone.
And is there a little part of you that resonates? Maybe they know I'm just a mouth behind a microphone. Maybe the right person will see me this time.
Yeah, this is the one.
They'll say, December, "Oh wow, we thought she was just a mouth."
December 27th, during a global pandemic where we decided not to close anything because everyone was just like, we can't. Because, of course, if they closed anything, that would mean the government would have to help out, and that can't happen again, right?
No. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But you have a gig coming up at Gotham, I think, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I know. I love Gotham, and
Are they taking precautions?
Oh yeah. I mean, every place is, but when it comes right down to it, and I just accepted my own, like at a certain point, I was just like, I either don't do this forever because it's like the likely like waiting for things to change seems to be not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're fully vaxxed, right?
I'm fully vaxxed, I'm boosted, I wear a mask, but all of those things I think are good, but I don't think I'm not
It's
impenetrable.
not foolproof. No, no.
Yeah.
I remember this wise man said, I saw this video on Twitter, and the guy said, look, wear your mask, get the vaccine, because a seatbelt will not prevent you from getting into a car accident, but it'll prevent you do a better job from getting killed. And the vaccine is not going to prevent you from getting it, but it'll do. And you know what wise person said that? OJ Simpson posted that video, and I thought,
Really?
wow, was who better to get humanity together?
That's usually who I go to for my medical advice.
I wish he didn't make such a good point, though.
Oh,
But
yeah, well, I guess he knows a couple things about driving fast.
hey, good one.
Hey, I just remember all that footage. I mean, that was like the television. I didn't even care about that story. Was I even living in America? I don't think
Oh,
so.
you were probably in Canada then.
Yeah, and so, very detached feeling towards that story. Uh,
Yeah, it wasn't part of your pop culture over there.
no, 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 and just the helicopter footage of highways.
Yes, that was so classic. I remember turning on the TV saying, "Oh, what is? Oh my God, this is a car chase, a real life
Yeah,
car chase.
yeah,
Very uneventful."
very uneventful. Yeah, I know. No
Yeah,
wonder we like the bells and whistles of. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I was going to say bells and whistles action movie. I am watching the new Matrix,
Is it worth
and
it?
so it is. I mean, I'm happy to watch it just for the ridiculousness of it. I don't expect much from it, and it's kind of amazing how Keanu Reeves hasn't aged at
He is
all.
not. Well, because he's got that phone booth. We can go back and
That's
forth
what.
through time and space.
But they
Duh.
replaced all the characters around him with younger people.
No, even Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
Why would they replace them?
Like, who knows? I don't know. Maybe they said no. But as it turns out, because it was like, why did they cast another guy as Lawrence Fishburne's character? And you're like, why? Why would they do that? And then I was like, and my husband said, oh, it's because Lawrence Fishburne is just so much older. And I can't remember their exact ages, but Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne are like 2 or 3 years apart in age. It's not like
Yeah. Well, look at Ralph Macchio too. He's
I
another
don't.
enigma who's about 60. You don't know who that is?
I know who that is, but I have not seen him recently. But he
He's
looks amazing.
Cobra Kai.
Sure.
He's
Oh,
6 years
right. I
old.
haven't watched that yet. Yes.
Oh, okay.
My
Yeah.
husband tells me I need
I
to.
stopped. I watched them all because 80s pop culture growing up that way. And
Yes.
this season, I watched the first episode and gave up.
Oh,
I think
yeah. So the Matrix, by the way, we have watched it. We still have a quarter of it left, which you can tell how
how
great an
long is this
action movie
movie?
is. Oh my God, it's way too long. I think it's like 2.25 hours. Way too long. And you know how an action movies or a sci-fi action movie is really good when you're like, no, we can pause. Time to go to bed.
Yeah. Oh, that's you're
But they do a lot of exposition. Like, there's just a lot of, like, explaining, and I'm like, "This is not
always in
that
these movies.
deep. This is not that deep. Like, get to the part where
No.
you're fighting."
I remember debating with some people. I forget who, these geeks I did theater with so long ago when The Matrix was out. People don't get it. Like if you say you don't get The Matrix because you're not smart enough, it's a movie for smart people. That's where the action is. It's in your brain.
Oh my god.
I
Yeah. That's right, man.
couldn't go for that.
Yeah, you're like, "Whatever."
Yeah, exactly. So wait, I forgot you were from Canada. That's why
Yeah.
you're so nice.
Aw, that's nice, thanks. I was actually doing I was doing some business, like just a corporate event with some Canadians, and I was just noticing the difference in the tone of the emails. It was just I was like, "Wow, we really I mean, it's just very reasonable and nice." It's not like everybody, it's not like everybody, it's not like all the time. There are plenty of jerks in Canada. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
I fall down those Karen wormhole videos on YouTube, and I'm always surprised, but there's Canadians on there.
Oh yeah, totally. But every once in a while, there's just something that crops up in my life that really feeds into the nice, polite stereotype. And I was just reading because I'd asked for more money, and they didn't want to give it to me. But just the way they worded that they weren't going to give it to me, but I was still highly valued. I was like, that's really good. That is so Canadian, and it's really good. Because
Uh,
no corporate person in America would be like, I just want to let you know you're valued, but this is what the budget is. They would just be like, no, that's what we got.
yeah, yeah, there's something positive in there. That's why we love Canada.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Are you one of the people that want to move to
I
Canada?
would
Do you have
love to
those
live.
sites?
I every time I go to Canada, I'm in love with it. It's so clean and beautiful, and people are the Canadians are not so much the French Canadians were friendly, but the
Right.
regular Canadians.
The regular Canadians. Ooh, the French Canadians would
What do you
have
call
a lot
them?
of issue.
Oh,
Anglos?
yes, Angles. I never heard of that.
Anglos. Yeah, I
Well,
mean, it's like
Anglos.
Anglos in Quebec. I mean, I didn't really think about it that much when I didn't live, because I grew up on the west side of Canada, so I was through with mostly just English speakers. Alberta is like Texas, where I grew up. It's like rednecky and it's very American. Matter of fact, I never really had an accent, strong like that accent that we know.
Oh
I feel like
yeah,
is way more Ontario.
the
Um,
Mackenzie brothers. Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, I still had an accent, but not like that because Alberta's, yeah, just very, especially Calgary, where I grew up, was very, I think, wanting to be an American city. So when I moved to Montreal, that's where it became clear, that there was Anglos and Francophones, and that was it. You were an Anglophone or a Francophone. Very formal.
so you were the Anglo.
I was the Anglo. Yeah,
That explains a lot.
yeah, and I tried my
Um,
best to learn French. I mean, I did get by for sure, but I had the thing, which I'm not bilingual, and my accent kind of sucks. And so when the few couple times I've been to France, it's fine. Like people will really let me go a long way speaking my crappy sounding French.
they do
But
that, and then they'll throw something at you, and you're like, okay, I give up.
yeah, we've reached my limit. We've reached my limit. But Montreal, they just speak back to you in English. They're just like already done with you. They're already done with you.
I remember the first time I went to Canada, it was Ottawa. I was with my friend hiking in the Adirondacks. He said, we're an hour from Ottawa. Should we go, or should we go to the Syracuse State Fair? And I said, I've never been to Canada. Let's do it. It was my first time out of the country. And we get to Ottawa, and I don't know anything about it. And it's like a dream. There's these beautiful, majestic buildings, and like the Parliament buildings there, and there's a beautiful bridge and mountains in the background.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. So we got a hotel and went to some bars. And we're walking back from the bar, and I'm hammered and I have to pee so bad. And I was like, here's a bush. My friend's saying, don't pee there. I said, nobody's going to see. It's dark. He said, don't pee there. And a cop pulls up, and I look up, and I'm in front of the Parliament building. I had
Oh
no
no.
idea. So we just kind of took off out of there real quick. But
Yeah.
that was,
Yeah. You peed on
yeah.
government. You peed on the Canadian government, did you? Then the
I
federal
stopped.
government. The
I stopped and
federal
ran.
government. You were going to pee on the
Never.
federal government.
In my
Unbelievable.
defense,
The Queen. You're peeing on the Queen.
is there a Queen of Canada?
Well, Queen Elizabeth is still. It's on our money.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's
Oh
still.
my God.
Yeah, I know. I mean, technically. So let's see. It's like, so if the prime minister, if there's like a upheaval to the point where if the prime minister can't serve, and there's, like there's no leadership um, in place, it would go to, there's a governor general, which is sort of this, it's a very, actually, when I think about it, how this parliamentary system is so different. So there's a governor general, which is also like a kind of it's what symbolic kind of position, but it exists. This person does more like showing up at events and a lot of diplomatic things, but they don't need to wield power, but they would be next in line if something happened that the prime minister couldn't serve and government fell apart and there's no one elected. And then I feel like after them, like let's just say someone came and like shot the prime minister, shot the leader of the other party, and then shot the governor general. I think it goes to the queen.
Are they like in England, just a very incestuous family?
It's that same queen.
Oh, how stupid do I sound? Oh my God.
It's that one.
It's not
Same
just
queen.
a different Canadian. How? Oh my God, I'm such a fool.
Well, now you know. Don't
So
worry
it's the
about it.
same. I was like, oh, they have the same name as the British Queen.
Yeah, it's
Queen
the British
Elizabeth.
queen. It's the British
Wow. And I'm sitting here trying to sound
Or-
smart.
queen. Or whoever's coming in next. We'll see.
Oh,
So that is a question to me because, right, so, I do think of how that queen, well, actually, yeah, Queen Elizabeth the First is on. So I guess they'll just have new money with new people on it or something like that.
maybe you just put more animals on it. I like that you have the
Maybe,
loon.
I know
You
it's
know,
nice, right? There's
the
beavers
loon,
on the
the
nickel,
moose.
and yeah,
Yeah, stick with the animals.
okay,
Let's leave
that's right.
the royals out of it.
Fair enough.
I still feel like an idiot. We had a woman on the show, Dr. Karen Meach, who is an astrobiologist from the University of Hawaii. She
Okay,
discovered
that
an
would make me
interstellar
feel like,
object.
what?
Yeah, she discovered an interstellar object. I saw her do a TED talk and thought, I want to talk to this girl and get her on the show. And I did. And Justin and I had her on. She would tell us something fascinating. We're sitting there like,
What?
oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's cool. Like, I had nothing to add or contribute because I had no knowledge of space or interstellar objects. I just want to learn. So I
So,
was,
but well, I'm sure that there was no expectation on her part for you to be like, so, interesting. Well, when I read the study by blah blah blah, like,
I did things
uh,
like that. I tried, but my God, one of the things we asked her a question and she came back with, what I find interesting is that kindergartners ask the most incredible questions because they're outside the box. And I was like, what are you saying about the way
right,
we're
because they
talking?
just don't even care. But they also, right, I mean, the world has shunned us. They're all. I always have said this for years. So, that lovely thing where people go, there are no wrong questions. I was like, I've done it. I have asked the wrong question. I've done it
You
more
did it
than
for a
once.
living. You're a show host.
Yeah, but even
Uh,
like I've just like even people are like, "There's no wrong question." I'll ask something, and they'll be like, "That is so stupid. That is not a fair question." I'm like, "Okay, I did it. That's the wrong." So wait a second. Was her TED talk about her discovery? Like, was it the
yeah,
impact of her discovery on the world?
it was about her discovery. And when we told people she was on the show, they said, "My God, I love her." Like, you know her? It was an interstellar object called Oumuamua because it's from Hawaii, I guess.
Yeah,
Not the object, but her place. Yeah, the place she teaches.
yeah,
And she helped NASA. I remember she was saying she had a really long day. She was coming off like a marathon of days at work, doing astrobiology stuff, and she said, "I just got home. I needed to rest. I got a call, and they said there's something in our solar system you need to see. We don't know what it is." She's like, "Now," and they said, "Yeah, you got to come now." So she went, and I was like, "Just it's like any work day for anybody.
yeah.
Even
They're
it's
like,
just
someone
different."
called in sick. We got to finish the shift.
I know,
Yeah, right.
always on call. But I did ask her, "What is our contingency plan if something enters and is headed towards Earth?" And she didn't make me feel any better. She said, "We don't have one, but we're watching the skies." Like, so,
We don't have right. It's like that movie, Don't Look Up, basically.
yeah. I feel like I got the joke of that movie after the first 15 minutes. Then I fast forwarded to the end to see what would happen. I wasn't a big fan. Did you see it?
I did. I saw it with my family over the holidays,
Well, that's an uplifting
and
movie to watch with the family.
right. But I gotta say, like, I didn't mind it. I didn't. Right. It's
It made me
interesting.
angry.
It made you angry? Why did it make you angry?
because it was so it's how people are, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, people really are like this. It's satirical, but
No,
so
no,
many
no, it was
people
just a
behave this way.
representation. Yeah, it was just a
Yeah,
representation. I know, that's
exactly.
basically what everyone's problem with it was they were like, it wasn't enough of a, like, twist, it was just basically a retelling, which,
Yeah.
yeah, I get. It's hard with that. I mean, I feel like everyone I knew that worked on, news parody shows all through the especially the Trump years, were just like, "It's so hard to write this stuff because when your source material is ridiculous, where do you go?"
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So on that note,
Sorry.
no, that's okay. We just had an awkward silence. However, I have a friend who's a follower of the show, and she sent me this book for my birthday. She said, in case you ever have an issue on the podcast,
Oh my
these
god,
are
emergency
Richard Herring's
questions.
emergency questions. And I thought, oh
Okay.
my god, I'm gonna write them down. And
You have emergency questions for me?
I do.
Okay, let's do it. I'm
All
excited.
right. If you were a spider, who would you most like to trap in a web?
Good question. If I like first of all, I just like the idea of being a spider. And I would not like to be a spider, I gotta
Would you,
say.
with the hair, I would cast you as Spider Woman, Spider
You
Girl.
would
I could
just
see it
because
coming
of
out of the,
the
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Who would I That's so it's so funny because right, the idea of so it would be an enemy, right? You'd want to
Unless you're like every other female on the planet who wants Jason Momoa in a web.
I mean, and then what? But basically, once you spin something in a web, then
Yeah,
you suck out its life force and leave the carcass to rot, right?
well, that's basically what spiders do.
Yeah.
They,
Okay.
they yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go with um, good question. I think I'm gonna go with um, Sheila Gray, who tormented me in the eighth grade.
Oh, you had an eighth grade enemy.
I
You know,
did.
that was the worst 2 years for me as well. Seventh and
Yeah,
eighth grade. Didn't you call it grade 8 in Canada?
grade eight. Yep,
Yeah, it's grade 8. But
grade eight.
I had a bully too.
Yep.
We get along very civil now. We're Facebook friends. We like each other. It's like we've grown out of it. We've grown past it. But yeah, that was my first and only fight in school I've ever had.
Me too. It was just this one, and I
Eighth
don't even
grade.
know. Yeah, eighth grade, and I don't know. Yeah, it was super weird. I was like, "What? What did I do? What?" But
Some people
sometimes,
just want to. You just see some people. Sometimes you just want to hit them. Like my wife and me. She sees me and she'll look at me and she'll say, "You know what? I want to hit you right now." And why? Because
no.
I have a hittable face, apparently, or she'll just punch my arm, or. Oh, Ann Rothney tuned in and said, "Good evening, Jason and Ophira."
Oh,
Hi, Ann.
hello. Hi,
Hello.
Anne. How are you? Good evening to you. Good evening. I love a good evening. That's so like I don't know, formal and exciting.
Very formal. Sometimes I'll look at the clock depending on what time I send an email, and sometimes I'll even start it with a good evening because that's
Good
how we
evening.
roll.
It's either good evening, good morning. How long did you say Happy New Year to people in emails?
I stopped at January 2nd. I was done.
Oh
Uh,
wow, I went for a whole other week.
oh no, I lied. I did it yesterday. Shit.
There you go.
I got you beat. Yes.
January 2nd was my birthday, by the way.
Happy
Worst
belated.
day to have a birthday. Worst day. Worst
Because
day.
everybody's tired and
Everyone's
you got.
tired. I mean, I didn't hang out this year because it was nobody wanted to hang out at all. But that is not unlike many years that nobody wants to hang out on January 2nd. Everyone's tired, everyone's broke, they've gone out, like, they're just done. Most people
Well,
are like, I'm doing dry January," or they're, like, not eating gluten, or they're not doing sugar.
Ophira,
Yeah.
no. If you want to go out for your birthday, get some conservative friends. They don't care about the COVID. They'll go out. They'll do anything with you.
I did say to my husband, I was like, "You know what? Maybe we should go, like, maybe a vacation for us right now is Florida, in the sense that, like, let's just go to one of these fantasy land states where COVID doesn't exist."
There you go. Problem
It's like,
solved.
you can just do that. You could just go somewhere where it just doesn't exist. They're just done with
Perfect.
it. They figured it out.
I mean, I get it. I'm done with it too, but still, the reality sets in, and I'm like, no, I don't want it.
Right. I know, and I love the people that are say to me, "I just wanna get it already and get it over with." I'm like, "That's what the virus wants you to say. The virus is hungry and wants
For
you to be like,
years, it was then the terrorists win, and now that's what the virus wants you to say.
that's right, that's what the virus wants you to say."
I like that.
Thanks. Who would you spider web into your web?
Um, Andrew Garfield. I was I he was my least favorite Spider-Man.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm just trying to upset the nerds.
They're
Actually, he
gonna
was
be
very
mad.
likable.
I
Yeah.
was actually just thinking because I have a little boy, and a friend of mine was like, "Oh, would you want to take your son at some point to see a Broadway show?" And I was like, "What show would my son like? Like, he's not going to go to Wicked. Harry Potter's too old for, like, even if I had the money to just blow on that stuff, which I don't, and I think it's ridiculous." But I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "That's why they did the Spider-Man musical, because they wanted to attract all of these families with boys that like, there's nothing for them." Like,
Absolutely. How did I not know about that?
yeah, but that Spider-Man musical obviously was extremely flawed and a mess.
When did this take place? I'm so out of touch. I can't believe
So
this.
it was a bunch of years ago, and it was like supposedly just the most incredible um,
Oh wait, wasn't there an
spectacle of
injury on
musical.
stage or something?
Not one injury, so many injuries.
Yes, I did. I do remember this. Yes.
So many injuries. Yeah, and so they had a hard time keeping it going because of the injuries, and I think the set was also, really problematic because, of course, Spider-Man has to cling to walls and shoot across buildings and whatever, and it was a lot. Excuse me.
Bless you.
So, yeah, COVID.
Just the beginning. Well, because
Yeah.
you're triple vax. That's all it is. Want to see COVID?
Yeah,
Vax.
that's my COVID baby.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, your son is a fan of Star. His name is Luke, right?
Lucas, yep.
Lucas, because you're a cool mom and named him after your favorite Star Wars character.
My husband truly, but yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
Does he have?
I like the name. Yeah.
Now we were talking about this in the last show. Does he have collectibles from like action figures or anything that would be worth anything?
My husband?
No.
No.
Or your
He
son?
no, no, no. I'm so against that. But my
Yeah.
husband does have, and he's been watching it recently because there's a lot of craziness going on right now with the price of original comic book art. So he is someone who has he says he doesn't have anything like out of this world, but he has a bunch of pages from some stuff that is valuable. And I guess right now that world is just what things are going for is just crazy.
Yeah. I had so much stuff when I was young and did not take care of it. I had a
Yeah.
box of comic books though from the 70s and earlier. It was a huge box. And my stepmother decided he's he's already outgrown these. He's been in a box in the basement for years. I'm just gonna throw them out. My action figures I didn't take care of, broken. I put them out in the snow and froze them, and their heads came off.
That's
And
how you're supposed to enjoy them. They're supposed to
right,
be enjoyed.
I was talking to a friend about that this past week who watched the show. She said, "You don't collect these things. You have to play with them.
No,
They're meant to be enjoyed."
that's right. You're supposed to read things. It's a whole mentality that I do not have. Like, and Jonathan, my husband, has it to the extent where like Lucas will be reading a book and he'll be like, "Don't bend the pages like that," or "Don't," and I'm like, "Just let him do whatever he wants. Who cares? Who cares?" But it's like so in him to keep things in a certain state because he's a collector.
But is he ever going to sell anything like
Uh,
Antiques Roadshow
yeah, I
style?
know. One day. I mean, this might be the time in terms of the comic book art because, he does feel like there's a couple things that he has noticed is going for so much money, he would be a fool. But he also likes having it.
I do too. You
Yeah.
know, I have a collection of Funko Pops. When my wife worked at Barnes and Noble, if something was worth something, my wife would snag it up and buy it real quick.
Yeah.
And I just started collecting them, stuff that would represent my childhood. And I don't see myself selling them anytime soon. But this is
Yeah.
my favorite. Do you get it?
Let me see what it is. Jan Brady and George. Let's say George Glass.
Yes. And see,
Oh my God.
There's only one figure in there. Get it?
That's pretty good. I didn't
Well,
know
you
they
know
were like
why?
funny like that.
Oh, their Funko's great.
Oh yeah,
I
I
mean,
didn't know that. I've
they
never
made
I've never
weird.
looked really hard at it.
They're just. And then I have this little guy right here.
Oh,
That's
they
Mike
make them in
TV.
they make them in all sizes.
They do.
All right, so is the collection closed or are you still adding to it?
I I got to a point where I don't need anymore. I'm like,
Right.
okay, I could get one, but I have enough. I don't do anything with them. They're just displayed for decorative purposes, and I'm gonna stop buying them.
Yeah.
I
So
don't.
I used to when I was like a teenager. Yeah, I was a teenager and then all like I think I started around 16. I decided I was collecting snow globes.
You collected snow globes. That's
I
unique.
collect I collect like little snow globes and what happened and then I just stopped the collection around like I don't know 25 because what happened it was really nice but people loved that I collected snow globes and they're
That is
and
cool.
it
It's
gives
so Canadian of you. That is so incredibly Canadian of you.
and if you go to a whatever tourist gift shop snow globes are usually there's some expensive ones but they're like $5-8 so people would nicely they would but people I didn't even know they would I just mean like people that I didn't know well would go on trips and they would buy me snow globes and so this collection just blossomed out of control and I was like
Where did you keep them?
18.
Yeah,
Well,
you
that
keep
was the
them on top
thing.
of
Then,
each other.
like, yeah, I went to college and I had a shelf where I had all these snow globes on it. And then I moved apartments and I was boxing up like boxes of boxes of boxes of snow globes. Just like, no, I can't. And then I was moving across the country. I was moving snow globes. Like, you can't do that. So I have like three, and the rest I just let go. Also, these things do not last over time. The water
Oh, I have a really
evaporates.
look. I have a really cool snow globe, but
Oh my
yeah,
God.
there's no water, and it's kind of tinted yellow now after all these years. This is
Yeah.
from 1997, I think, six.
Wow, that's pretty
I love
cool.
I love that though.
Yeah.
That's one of my
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
favorite collector items.
That's pretty cool.
Things.
That's
I
pretty
mean,
cool.
such a
All
Canadian.
right. I didn't know you had all these little things.
I'm
Interesting.
such a nerd.
I guess so.
Yeah. Look. Recognize this guy?
Bullwinkle.
No. Sorry, folks. Park closed. Moose out front should have told
So is that
you.
wait a second, is that the moose from Yogi Bear? Is there a moose
No,
from Yogi Bear?
National Lampoon's Vacation. Marty Moose.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I was totally in the kids world.
Oh, I understand. And I have this. in my collection.
Ah, nice. That's a
Uh,
good one. That's a good
yeah.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's a
actually,
must read for anybody coming of age.
so someone that is in that book recently got in touch with me over Facebook, and a little suspect, I gotta say, just because I was like, first it was just like friendly, like, what are you doing? But then very quickly, uh, he was writing kind of those moments where someone's messaging you and their messages are this long. And I wrote back like, something like, "Hey, great to hear from you, blah, blah, blah," six lines. And then I got another thing, long, long, long. And it was clear immediately that he is divorced and also an anti-vaxxer.
Oi, oi,
And
Gavold. It's weird
yeah,
how
and
it's
I was just like,
separate.
I don't wanna talk to this person. Like, we haven't kept in touch, like, the novelty of, like, oh, someone I slept with in the past is tooling around on Facebook, and they sent me a message, fine. Uh, but then, like, all of the stuff, and it was very needy, and so I was just like, I'm not responding." And then like, they won't let up. Every day, there's like, "Hey, I sorry about that fire in the Bronx." Like, they're clearly reading the news of New York, and just commenting like, "So you
You
snowed in
live you
there?"
live in New
Da, da,
York, so
da.
you must have been affected by the fire in the Bronx. Yes.
But just ongoing, and I'm not responding because I'm also like, "Just fucking leave me alone." And then the last dispatch, and honestly, it feels a little bit like whatever. I'm gonna just say it. It feels like harassment. I'm like, just I'm not
Leave me
responding.
the fuck alone. Take a
Leave me
hint.
alone. And you're a grown man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is he in another country?
yeah,
All right, so you're safe.
but I shouldn't ever have to not feel safe.
This is true. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Yeah. And so I'm just not responding, and it's just so funny because then he basically wrote, "Didn't you write a book at some point?" And he was like, screwing myself to wait, he couldn't quite remember the name, which I'm also like, you're on a computer. It's so easy to find this information. So I don't even know why,
He's
you
trying
know,
so hard to start up a conversation. No, he knows you're married, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And no, and he has kids. And actually, when we slept together years ago, he had a kid. Like, it was yeah, he was sort of it was that guy had some problems. He definitely had some problems. Um, Finding his way through the world. Whatever, we all did. It's a different thing when it's honestly when you're in your 20s or 30s than it is now.
Yeah. Um,
And
you're more
so
experimental.
yeah, and you're allowed to I mean, you're always allowed to make mistakes, but there's a level of experience and mistakes that people make, and it's just part of figuring out what you're about. I mean, it's hard when there's a kid involved, but anyways. And yeah, and so he was like, "Oh, I hope there's a chapter dedicated to me, or at least a footnote." And I was just like, again, just leave me alone. Leave
Hmm.
me alone. And then I thought about his portion in the book, and I think he would find it on one side very flattering, and on the other side not very flattering. And then I got worked up about the idea of this random person that I have no interest in being in contact with reading what I wrote about him in a published book and getting mad at me. And then I had to like do a whole thing in my brain where I was just like, who cares? But I mean, I went through like half a day where I was like, but what if he's mad at me for what I wrote about him? What if he's
I'm
mad
not
at
going to
me?
mention. I guess we won't be sharing this episode then of the podcast.
Well, all nameless.
Yes. No, you didn't mention any names. You're safe. My God, whatever you just did, you all of a sudden have an Uma Thurman look about you.
Sorry. I know. My hair is a little ridiculous right now.
Don't apologize for looking like Uma Thurman. That's not a bad thing.
Okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, let's go with another emergency question,
Okay.
shall we? All right. This one was just ridiculous. If you had to have a tail, monkey, bunny, or horse?
Monkey. I mean, first of all, let's just
Yeah,
be clear. You were saying the only the tails we're talking about are like the curly monkey tails, right?
yeah,
That's what we're talking
that's what I
about?
would
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. That's what
I
I
would
want.
go with
Yeah.
monkey too because they're practical. You could
Totally.
dangle. Where's Ophira
Why wouldn't you want
hanging
that?
around?
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
want a
like,
practical tail.
just the idea that you could hold something with it would be cool.
That would be cool. And you could, I mean, the horse. If you had a horse, you could slap things off your back too.
And you could slap people in the face, which would be fun.
Yeah, yeah, that would be. But
Like,
you
you
have
always see that thing where someone gets smashed in the face by a standing near a
We're
horse
also
tail.
we're also thinking. I guess if you have a tail, you've got to have a hole in your pants that it'll could be able to come through. I don't know how that would work.
Right. Yeah, right. Or just if you wore your pants a little low, that might work.
Yeah, or it could be
It's
kind of
disgusting.
unsightly, but
Yeah. You just gotta wear like elastic waistline. It just kind of sticks out. But bunny, I mean, that's just like you just want to be cute. That's just because you want to be cute.
yeah, yeah.
I
There's
like
no
pragmatic.
point.
I want to do something with my tail.
It's practical, absolutely.
Yeah. And I like that idea of talking to someone, but meanwhile your tail has wrapped around something, and then you can just like go.
That's brilliant. I love that. Yeah, I like that idea. Okay, this one I thought this is so you. This question. Do you have a favorite towel, and what's your best story about it?
My favorite towel.
I mean, doesn't everybody have?
What a crazy these are great. Your friend wrote this?
No, no. She got it
Oh,
for
someone
me.
gifted it to you. Someone
Yes.
gifted it to you. Okay. Right. They're like your not so average conversation starters. I like
Yeah.
it. Um, okay. The thing that sprang to mind, and this is it, but it's an answer, is that I've never been to like a I think they still exist, like a nudist gathering.
They do still exist. There's a beach in Jersey, Gunnison Beach, but I've been invited, but I haven't had the guts or need to go and be naked.
So someone told a story on stage about going to one of these places. It's like a resort or whatever that it's all nude. And when you get there, you're given a little towel. And it's like, why the towel? And the idea is that you're supposed to sit on the towel. Sorry, sit on the towel during your meals and like when you're sitting, you have meals and like drinks and stuff like that,
Why do
you
you sit
know,
on the towel
for
during your meal?
sanitary reasons. They don't want your
Oh.
genitals just all over all the chairs, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
So there you go. I would use my favorite towel to put down on the chairs where so my genitals don't so my vagina doesn't leave stuff on the
It's
chair.
out there. It's in the open.
There you
Whatever
go.
follicles are going to be there. Yeah, I don't understand the point of putting it on the chair.
What would you do with
Nothing.
your favorite towel? Such a crazy, that's a great one. A towel.
Um, I would just be practical. I guess you know what? I would bring the big towel. I'd bring my favorite towel.
Like
I would
big
do the
beach
exact
towel.
same. I would do the big beach towel with the dot on it that says "This is my spot," and I would put it. I'm so uncreative. I would use it to dry myself. A big beach towel. I would. It would be so much warmer when you get out of the shower to use a large beach towel around you than the regular bathroom towel. I don't know why they can't be that size,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
That's good. Yeah. I do love a massive towel.
Who doesn't love a good big towel?
Yeah. I know people like that's like one thing. Like the crappier the hotel you stay in, the smaller the towels. You're always just like, really? This is my bath towel? Come on.
I am understanding. I
That
get
being
it.
said, I haven't stayed in a lot of hotels recently because I haven't done much traveling, but it will start again hopefully soon. But I do not like hip hotels. Like when someone a
Oh,
place is
trendy.
trying to yeah, like boutique hotel Those
Oh,
places
oh,
always suck.
wait. I went to one a couple of years ago. There's one Aloft, not too far away from me.
Yeah,
It's really trendy, very
yeah.
like neon lights inside. Danny Bonaducci was a guest bartender there, and
No.
I ordered a Miller Lite, and I was like, do I leave him $1? Like, do I tip Danny Bonaducci $1? It's just so weird. I don't know. I feel
But you
like I
do, right?
you do, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, Here you go, Mr. Partridge Family Guy. Here's $1 for you." It was
Wild.
so bizarre. It was almost degrading.
Oh yeah. I'm yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
What a weird stunt.
it so was. Fear, our time is almost up. Let me Oh, this is a good question for you
Okay.
but you might not want to answer it
Oh,
because
intriguing.
I'll just read it. What is your most mundane celebrity encounter?
Mundane celebrity encounter.
Odds are they
Uh,
won't be watching this.
yeah, I'm trying to think like a mundane, like just seeing someone across the street. Is that like a mundane celebrity
Could be.
encounter? Yeah.
I had a moment. I freaked out for Ruza Balk. I was standing next to her crossing the street on Broadway. We're on a little island in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Um, and I looked at her. She's right here next to me, and I'm like, "It looks really familiar." And it occurred to me it's Firuza Balk, and I went, and she saw me do that and looked at me like, "What's wrong with you?" And bolted
Oh yeah.
across the street. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was you. I'm sorry.
I know. I was like walking slightly in tandem with Ethan Hawke on some street in Brooklyn. And it took me a while because I was just like, why is this like that thing where you're trying to overtake someone on the sidewalk, you know that
Yes.
thing?
So you were
And
you
I
were
was
trying to
just like,
outrun him.
yeah, I was like, kind of like get out of my way. And I was like, who's this scruffy guy? But I mean, honestly, I was a little, there was something about him that made me want to look at him. Like I was just like, who is this person? And it wasn't. There was something like he had an air.
He was
He
probably
had
trying to
an
get away
air.
from you, and you're like, I want to get past this guy.
Yes, and I don't know if this is mundane because it's actually more of a story, but there was no encounter. But when on my birthday, the one good thing about a January 2nd birthday is that if you do want to dine out at the kind of restaurant that usually there's no way to get in, you can get in on January 2nd. Let me tell you, no problem.
I
So it used to
believe
be
it.
a thing that I would go up for a fancy dinner, just with one or two people on my birthday because you can go somewhere. And we don't, big treat. So I went to now years and years ago, Nobu, this fancy restaurant in New
Yeah,
York.
I know that place.
And this is how long ago it was. It's got to be like almost 20 years ago. Because I think I just had moved here. And who is dining there? But it's Harvey Keitel on a table together. Harvey Keitel, Robert De Niro, their wives, partners, what have you, Paul McCartney, and at the time he was with Heather Mills.
Oh my god.
And I went to the bathroom, which required me to kind of go past past their table. And I was like looking at them, like just so intently. I didn't realize that there was a step down. I didn't see it. And so I just totally like all of a sudden I'm flying through the air. And then I'm in someone's arms and it was their bodyguard or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And speaking of Martin Scorsese, you kind of look like his ex. I don't know if it's his ex-wife or you do have an Ileana Douglas kind of look.
Oh, yeah, I used to get that. I used to
Yeah,
get
I
that
could
quite
see
a
that.
lot. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Martin
Wow.
Scorsese, I was at an event, I do stuff with the Moth, and they throw this big fundraising event every year, and they give someone an award, and I think the first time I did it, it was Martin Scorsese, and it was at this old bank in Lower Manhattan that is now an event space, but it used to be a bank. And Martin Scorsese grew up in Lower Manhattan, and he told this story about going to that bank on an elementary school field trip when he was a little kid. And the field trip was like, here's a bank. And then they went upstairs to where the vault was, and there was a guy standing outside the vault with a $1,000 bill, and they all got to walk by it and touch it.
Get out. That's wild. Wow. What do you get out of touching $1,000 bill?
Nothing. It's just how capitalism works. Here you go,
Ooh.
kids. Something you'll
Look at
never
it, smell it.
have. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly.
amazing. Ophira, thank you so much for your time. I could talk
Thanks
to
for
you for
having
hours.
me.
I really could.
Thanks for
I'm
having
gonna.
me. You're the
Thank
best.
you. I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you long emails about my feelings about news in New York
Please
and
do.
how it might affect you.
Please do. Please do. Anytime. I'll take
Of
them from
course.
you anytime.
Oh, thank you. And I'm gonna be in touch with you soon about a live show.
Yay! Live entertainment's coming
And
back.
you'll be safe. I can't promise you'll be safe, but I'll do my best to keep you safe.
Well, that's all we can do. I have weapons. Don't you worry.
Wow, you're kind of badass.
Yeah, man. Raise your wit.
That's
Please
your
edit that out.
superhero action hero name, Razor Wit.
Raise your wit.
Yeah, you whip out the
Don't worry.
razor and tell a bad joke.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's actually not bad.
I like it. We're on to something. All right,
Well,
Ophira,
thank you,
take
Jason.
care of yourself. Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
See you later.